निरन्धस्याग्ननञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनःभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति सपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं स्वाद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमयं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिनीति नामिने नमयाचार्यपदाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथा धामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमयं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पश्चात्देशतारिणे नमयं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने शिवार्षभानुविदेविदयिताय कृपाध्वये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञानदायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्यज्जलप्रेमाढ्यो श्रीरूपानुगो भक्तिदां श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्तिविग्रहाय नमस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे श्रीरूपानुगविरुद्धापुवपुषिध्वन्तधान्तुहारिणे नाम गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भोरसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजायते नमः। नाम भक्ति विनदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगोवरायते श्रीगौराविर्भाव भूमिस्थां निर्दिष्ट सज्जन प्रियः वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताक्षं नमामि भक्तो शक्तिकं। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतीशे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपीशु गोपिकाकन्तु राधाकन्तु नमस्तुते। नम तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतौ पंगरमम मंदेर्मतेर्गतिः मत्सर्वस्व पादाम्बुजौ श्रीराधा मदनमोहनो देव्याद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमाधौ श्रीमान् रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीराधा गोविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठलेभि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमान् रसरसारम्भिवं शिवटो तटस्थितः कौर्शनवेणुशनरे गोपी गोपीनाथो श्रीहस्तुनः। जयो श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैतो गदाधर शिवसदि गौरभक्तवृन्दः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यास ततो जयो मुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकीः। Readings from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, Text number 48, Scheduled Incarnations. Sadhyanyamya yatayo yamakkartahetim jahuhu swarativa nipana Kanitram Indraha, Kanitram Indraha, Sadhyanyamyayatayo yamakartahetim Yahu Saradiva Nipana, Kanitram Indraha. Sadhyak, artificial mental speculation or meditation. Sadhyak, artificial mental speculation or meditation. Niyamya, controlling. Yatayaha, the mystics. Yamakarta hetim, the process of spiritual culture. Yahu, are given up. Swarat, fully independent. Eva, as Nipana, well. Khanitram, travel for digging. Indraha, the controlling demigod supplying rains. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In such a transcendental state, there is no need of artificial control of the mind, mental speculation or meditation, as performed by the Jnanis and Yogis. One gives up such processes as the heavenly king Indra forgoes the travel to dig a well. A poor man in want of water digs a well and undertakes the trouble of digging. Similarly, those who are poor in transcendental realization speculate on the mind or meditate by controlling the senses. But they do not know that such control of the senses and attachment of spiritual perfection are simultaneously made possible as soon as one is factually engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, Supreme Lord, Supreme Person. The personality of Godhead, it is for, Similarly, those who are poor in transcendental realization speculate on the mind or meditate by controlling the senses, but they do not know that such control of the senses and achievement of spiritual perfection are simultaneously made possible as soon as one is factually engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Person, the personality of Godhead. It is for this reason that the great liberated souls also desire to be associated in hearing and chanting the activities of the Lord. Hearing, chanting the activities of the Lord. The example of Indra is very appropriate in this connection. King Indra of heaven is the controlling deity or demigod for arranging clouds and supplying rains in the universe, and as such, he does not have to take the trouble to dig a well for his personal water supply. For him, digging a well for a water supply is water supply is simply ludicrous. Similarly, those who are factually engaged in loving service of the Lord have attained the ultimate goal of life. And for them, there is no need of mental speculation to find out the true nature of God or His activities, nor do such devotees have to meditate upon the imaginary or real identity of the Lord, because they are factually engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Lord's pure devotees have already achieved the results of mental speculation and meditation. The real the real perfection of life is therefore to be engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Om Tat Sat. Mukham karati vachalam pangulanghayate girim yadakripatamaham bande Shri Gurudenatarinim Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Translation. In such a transcendental state, there is no need of artificial control of the mind, mental speculation or meditation, as performed by the Jnanis and Yogis. One gives up such processes as the heavenly king Indra forgoes the trouble to dig a well. Question comes about the transcendental state of mind or transcendental devotional service, transcendental quality of the Lord. So, to realize this absolute truth, there are three processes, like, Patanti tat tattavidastattam yajnanamadhyam brahmeti paramatati paramatmiti bhagavaniti shabdate. Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, to realize the absolute truth. So the yogis, they'll try to meditate. They'll be meditating thousands of years. The rays of the sun, like Brahma Jyoti, takes millions of yuga, you can say, to attain the perfection, to know the absolute truth. Paramatma realization, one who is meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead and within, then it takes also a very long period of time to understand and realize the Supreme Absolute Truth. But Bhagavan realization is very easy, very short period of time, by engaging devotional service to the Lord and associating with the devotees of the Lord. So this knowledge will reveal in heart, and very, very easily, very short period of time, one may realize the Supreme Absolute Truth. Especially when one associates the devotees and hearing regularly Srimad Bhagavat Katha, which is very, very important in our spiritual life. Whatever it is, wherever we are, just put on the lecture, Bhagavat Katha, the time of Bhagavat Katha, put on your phone or put on your laptop or whatever it is just here. The particular time will never come back again in the whole day. When this particular time goes further after 8:30, 9 o'clock, this moment will never come to our life. Another 24 hours. So we have to give that important. Okay, let me keep aside everything and sit for this hearing Bhagavat Katha. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Sulakya Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki. So by hearing this Bhagavad Katha regular, Nityam, Nashta Prayasha Vadresha, all the dirty desire and contamination in our heart gets resolved. So it is very more important, most important part to hear Bhagavad Katha. If you can't read, at least you hear. One should hear. So by hearing this, Shinnatam Shakatha Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtanaha, Hridyantastavadhrani Vidhunati Surit Satam. So by hearing this Bhagavad Katha regularly, our heart becomes completely cleansed. And engage in the opportunity comes in our life more and more to engage in loving devotional service to the Lord, which is the main pillar to understand this Supreme Absolute Truth. When you engage ourselves in devotional service to the Lord, automatically you are associating with the devotees of the Lord. When you associate with the devotees of the Lord, we gain more and more transcendental knowledge, What is that transcendental knowledge? Transcendental knowledge is Chakshudano Diloje Divyagana Dhride Prakashita. We sing every day Guru Puja. So who has given our transcendental eyes, open our eyes, transcendental eyes? Guru. When you take shelter at the lotus feet of the bona fide spiritual master through initiation, then our Divya Chakshu opens. We understand, we realize, we see the absolute truth, and by which we are engaged in this loving devotional service to the Lord. When you engage in devotional service to the Lord, automatically this knowledge which is lost in our heart is going to reveal again. And if it was not there, we may gain again more and more. As we gain more and more spiritual transcendental knowledge, we are becoming free from Maya, illusory association. As we'll have less percentage of transcendental knowledge in our heart, we are so much in illusion. As we gain more, we are getting free from illusory association. What is the result of illusory association? What is the result of devotees association? Illusory associations verily puts us into this dark well of hell, this material world. But spiritual association, devotees associations brings up to understand more and more about the supreme absolute truth, about the standard of spiritual life, about the progressive method of spiritual path. So the progressive method is here. Here regularly Krishna Katha. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloki Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. Bhakti Nishtha Bhakti. Nishtha Bhakti means unalloyed devotion we may attain in this lifetime. And that is verily going to take us back home, back to Godhead, from this material world to spiritual world. Journey to spiritual world. Journey is very easy, but on the way it is so many difficulties, lot of challenges going to come in our life. We have to bear with that, we have to manage with this and focus on that. My journey should not be stopped. What is that meaning of stop? Journey of stop? Journey stop means gradually coming out from the association of the devotees of the Lord, hearing regularly Bhagavad Katha, chanting 16 rounds given responsibility, or we have given a word to Guru Maharaj to chant 16 rounds every day. Gradually getting stopped, slower, and it becomes very difficult for the devotee who wants to attain this love of God. Following rules and regulations and chant this the holy name of the Lord with humble mood of mind, very, very humble mood. So then the knowledge is going to reveal in our heart. The devotion is going to give us so much strength, spiritual strength. When there is a spiritual strength, there is no fear. When there is no spiritual strength, there is a lot of fear. Like when the baby holds the hand of father and walks into the road where there are so many people, dogs and pet dogs, so many other animals are there on the road, and sometimes they get scared of those. But when the baby is holding the father's hand and walking on the road, the baby will never get scared of. Instead of that, they will shout at them, "Hey, no, don't disturb, don't come here." Why? Because God hold the father's hand. Similarly, when we catch hold, when we are with our Supreme Father, Krishna. Krishna is here in the form of name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In devotional service, there are so many types of 9 forces of devotional service. Any of them one may take up and constantly engage in devotional service to the Lord. That's it. Very much safe and so much of strength, spiritual strength one may get to overcome this dangerous situation in this material world. What is that dangerous situation? Ultimately, the death. Birth, old age, disease, and death is nobody can stop it. This is a very dangerous situation. It's very difficult. Very difficult. It is not only dangerous, very most difficult job in general. Birth, old age. Nobody can stop the changing this body from birth to boyhood, childhood, young age, old age, vanish. No one can control it. It is under the control of nature, and nature is under the control of Mahamaya, and Mahamaya is under control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when we surrender at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are been, when the changing does not matter, is safe, protected. When you serve Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, by chanting, hearing, by Pada Shivanam, serving different way, and 9 forces of devotional service. That means one is pouring the water, root of the tree. It is like pouring the water, the root of the tree, and when the water is pouring the root of the tree, that water goes all branches, leaves, and all around this, all the places in the of the tree, so that the tree or plant become very strong and gives a lot of fruits, flowers, many things we get. But we don't put regularly, we don't water regularly, keep giving fertilizer, something like that, to get more strong, then it becomes very difficult. Tree may die. But no question of getting fruits and flowers. Nothing will come when it dies. So jatha tarorumulo nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopushakha pranapaharacha yathendriyanam tathaiva sarvahanam achyutejaha. Sarvahanam achyutejaha. So when you pour water at the feet, root of the tree, and it goes all different branches of the tree and leaves and flower and fruits and all, then they become very strong. Similarly, when you eat food, after eating food, the food goes to the stomach and it starts digesting. When it is digested well, then it goes to all parts of the body and body become very strong. So similarly, when you chant Hare Krishna mantra, when you have nice Krishna prasadam, nice means Krishna prasad offered to the Lord, whatever food grain you offer to the Lord, that is all Mahaprasadam. When we take regularly, we get that spiritual strength. What is that spiritual strength? I become very powerful to see. Become very attached to see the beauty of the Lord and holy places like visiting all holy places, seeing the Lord and Lord's pastimes, and then tongue gets so much of encouragement to talk about Krishna Katha, speak about Bhagavat Katha, all spiritual topics. Ear becomes so much of eagerness will be there for the ear to hear Bhagavad Katha regularly. Wherever one is, immediately put on and hear, okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, or hear Bhagavad Katha or anything spiritual matter. Nose or senses, all senses divert, dovetail in Krishna consciousness, like fragrance of the offered flowers, Mahaprasadam, and saintly praying to the deities, and those fragrance comes into the nose and becomes so much peaceful, so much of happiness, joy one get in this process. Hand, cutting vegetables, offering arati, different activities we do by the hand. Legs, taking you to the holy places, temples, and Bhagavad Ashraya. So these are all senses of the body becomes fully overwhelmed in serving the Lord. So in this way, we attain love of God. Divya means transcendental. Transcendental means which is not material, is permanent, eternal. In previous sloka about Krishna's transcendental qualities has been very nicely described. What is realized as the absolute Brahman is full of unlimited bliss without grief. That is that certainly the ultimate phase of the supreme enjoyer, the personality of Godhead. He is eternally void of all disturbances and fearless. He is complete consciousness as opposed to matter, uncontaminated and without distinctions. He is the principal, primeval cause of all causes and effects, in whom there is no sacrifice for fruitive activities, and in whom the illusory energy does not stand. Krishna hai surya sama maya andhakar, jaha Krishna taha nahi maya radhikar. Lord Krishna is compared to sun. When sun rises and all the darkness disappears. Similarly, where there is Krishna consciousness, when one is in Krishna consciousness, no Maya can enter into the life. Sometimes we misunderstand that and take it very easily. No problem. Maya and Krishna can be simultaneously in our life. There is, if it is there, then there is no life. There is no hope for the life. It's like a sahojias mood of devotion. By not following any rules and regulations, keep chanting and showing of devotion, no use of it. In Bengal, Prabhu says that to be cautious with the Sahojias association, there's very prominent words are there. Khayo mach mangsher jholok suyo ramonir kol mukhe bolo horibol. Or foolish and rascals, those are taken those paths, trying to take off Krishna consciousness by not following any rules and regulations. Saying that eat fish, meat, whatever you like, simply chant Haribol, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, chant Hare Krishna. No problem, you will get deliverance. That is complete bogus philosophy. Those associations we have to avoid immediately, those type of association. It is a it is a practical one, but internally also we have to develop those qualities. Think something else, keep on chanting. That is also like compared to that. Speaking something, doing something. This also compared to like the same. These qualities we have to gradually have to give up and throw from our life. Then only there will be a attraction, there will be attachment in this devotional service and chanting and hearing. Otherwise, the attachment will never come. It will take a long period of life. Like Brahman realization. But when we are under train, we are all under training. So it is the training is given by the Guru now through the Shastra. Sadhu Shastra Guru Bhakya Chitte Te Koriya Yogya Arna Koriho Mune Asha. It says like that. Follow the footsteps of Sadhu and injunction of Shastras, scriptures, and the word instruction of our bona fide spiritual master, Diksha Guru, like. Arna Koriho Monasha, don't keep any other desire in your mind or heart. Then there is no hope for this life. This is the best life among all the lives. 400,000 types of bodies are there in this material world. Out of them, this human form of life is very precious. In this human form of life, we have got all facilities to understand this supreme absolute truth and engage in devotional service to the Lord, loving devotional service to the Lord. Other lives, very hardly one may get. Hardly. So, in this lifetime, we should try to develop all these transcendental qualities. Transcendental qualities is one of them is very strong and be all the time connected with the Lord. Even Bhagavad Gita also it says that those are very great souls who are always connected with the Lord through chanting, through hearing, through different type of devotional service, constantly engaged. Those are called Mahatma. Satatam kirtayantumam jatantasya dhradabrataha namashantasya mang bhakta nitya yukta pasate. Nitya yukta means constantly engaged in devotional service to the Lord. Those are called Mahatma. I'm not saying that we should become Mahatma, but we have to develop those qualities. Atma, Mahatma. The Atma, the soul, should be completely immersed in Krishna consciousness. That is called Atma become Mahatma. And Atma become Duratma when becomes fully engaged, when the person becomes fully engaged in filthy activities, in sense gratification, fully engaged, then that Atma become Duratma. Duratma means Dura. Dur means very far. The soul goes very far away from Krishna. Dur Atma, that is called Duratma. Dur means very far. In Bengali word say dur, go far, get away, get lost. It's very far. So that soul goes very far away from the Lord. And when the soul gets the spiritual benefits, spiritual strength, gradually get more and more spiritual devotional services, more and more, and engage in all these activities, then gradually come very close to the Lord. So that is our ultimate goal, to be closer and closer to the Lord, not go far and far away from the Lord. As such, there is an unlimited flow of everlasting happiness without the fear of its being broken, as we have experienced here in material world. The relationship with the Lord is never broken. Thus, there is no grief and no fear. Such happiness is inexplicable by words, and there can be no attempt to generate such happiness by fruitive activities, by arrangements and sacrifices. But we must also know that happiness, unbroken happiness, exchanged with the Supreme Person, the personality of Godhead, as described in this verse, transcends the impersonal conception of the Upanishads. In the Upanishads, the description is more or less negation of the material conception of things, but this is not denial of the transcendental senses of the Supreme Lord. Herein also the same is affirmed in the statements about the material elements. They are all transcendental, free from all contamination of material identification. And also the liberated souls are not devoid of senses. Otherwise, there cannot be any reciprocation of unhampered spiritual happiness exchanged between them in spontaneous, unbroken joy. All the senses, both of the Lord and the devotees, are without material contamination. They are so because they are beyond the material cause of effects. As clearly mentioned herein, Sadasat Param, the illusory material energy cannot work there, being ashamed before the Lord and his transcendental devotee. In the material world, the sense activities are not without grief, but there is clearly said that the senses of the Lord and the devotees are without any grief. There is a distinct difference between the material and spiritual senses, and one should understand it without denying the spiritual senses because of a material conception. That we have discussed. The senses in the material world are surcharged with material ignorance. In every way, the authorities have recommended purification of the senses from the material conception. In the material world, the senses are manipulated for individual and personal satisfaction. Whereas in the spiritual world, the senses are properly used for the purpose for which they were originally meant, namely the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Uchate. So we have to engage our all senses in the service of the Lord Rishikesha. then only that is called Uttama Bhakti. And and therefore sense gratification there is uninterrupted and unbroken by material contamination, because the senses are spiritually purified. And such satisfaction of the senses is equally shared by the transcendental reciprocators. Since the activities are unlimited and constantly increasing, there is no scope for material attempts or artificial arrangements. Such happiness of transcendental quality is called Brahma Sukham, which will be clearly described here in 5th canto. Om Tat Sat. So we can have some discussion now, if we have any.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
There is a comment. Let me read out from Kalpataru Mataji. Wonderful discourse, Prabhu. Thank you for emphasizing on not to deviate from our goal of devotional service, no matter the obstacles. He has to drop for another service. I think Sandhya Mataji also said something. There's some urgent work this morning. You have to leave in the middle of the class. Thank you so much, Prabhu. One quick thing. I mean, bhakti or the devotional service is, our natural position, and it's very nice also to execute in the association of devotees. Still, I think you emphasized on the taking on the wrong side of it, then that makes the devotees to fall down, right, from their path.
Yeah.
So maybe if you can just, why do devotees do that? Why do the practicing devotees do that, right?
Yeah, we actually the living entities, especially we are in marginal potency. Follow? What is that marginal potency? We are neither in the ocean, neither on the ground. Just bank of this ocean, like this. Just merge into that place is standing. Anytime big waves comes from the ocean, we may drawn into the ocean. And it is our free will to jump out and run away from this marginal position, so that the waves of ocean will not, it will not be affected in me. So I will not be drawn into. It is a free will for all of us. It is not that my mind is disturbed, why I am not fully engaged in devotional service, why I am not able to do this. It is our karma, you can say. It is depending on our free will, and that free will comes out of our karma. The free will become more strong, dormant. Okay, now depending on the knowledge, transcendental knowledge, it is also depending on the transcendental knowledge. If there is no less of transcendental knowledge, then this free will also does not work well. Instead of taking a right decision, takes a wrong decision. Follow? When the transcendental knowledge, Divya Jnana, that is why Guru is there, Shastra is there. Divya Jnana Hridaya Prakashito. When the transcendental knowledge is are in the heart, so the one takes right decision, takes up very seriously the path of Krishna consciousness. And one who's having lack of transcendental knowledge only takes a wrong decision and fall into this material association, life after life. So it is not that you and me, every one of us in this material world, that is our choice given, free will and choice. What to choose? What to choose? We have to choose this right path, right instruction, or right source where I can be always in Krishna consciousness, not falling into my illusory association, which is very bad. Result is very bad for our life. Many lifetime we have to come back into this world by taking wrong decision, wrong, using this free will in wrong place. You said how to overcome. Only one process is there. Sadhu Sangha, association with the devotees of the Lord. Many obstacles, many difficulties, many challenges will come in our life, day-to-day life, but do not leave association of the devotees of the Lord. As soon as one is out of the association of the Lord, finish. It is like a holding umbrella and walking on the rain. So much of rain and you are walking with umbrella. As long as umbrella is on your head, you have no problem. You just, you are out of umbrella is fully wet. Within a second, you will be fully wet. So as soon as you are out of association of the devotees, like it's out of the umbrella. Completely gone. Hope he didn't. He got
Thank
it.
you, Prabhu. I'm not sure if there are more comments, because maybe we can end, Prabhu. Devotees are taking some break. I think there was too much morning, evening classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of other services also. They are also busy day again. We'll end, Prabhu, then? Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you. I have a questions if anyone can. How one can be uh, firm and fixed in loving devotional service to the Lord, which is ultimate goal of our life. As we have little time, so one of you can share your experience and realization.
Hmm.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I asked a similar question to my Guru Maharaj, that how can I be steady in devotional service? And the response he gave was, he said that chanting your 16 rounds carefully and reading Srila Prabhupada books. So these 2 points, he said, are the foundation of our spiritual life.
Good.
Thank you, Mataji. I mean, yeah, I think when we ask this kind of questions, I was keep hearing this. For example, you're talking about consistent, right? So, Nishtha Bhakti. So that is higher stage of Bhakti, right? But then again, at our stage, we have to perform this Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Of course, the rules and regulations we need to follow, both do's and don'ts, right? Chanting 16 rounds, following the regulative principles, the basic things, and then studying Srila Prabhupada books, of course. And all the basic things, taking only prasadam. These are the basic things that makes one slowly make progress in the association of devotees if one continues to do that, right? I mean, I know, as you mentioned, Prabhu, I think there are a lot of challenges comes on our way, but one's goal has to be fixed, right? So, I mean, we should not get move with those challenges that come on our way. So,
There is a beautiful song. If in really, if you go through that song and keep in your heart, by heart that song and keep in your heart, you are firm and fixed. There is no tension about life. Beautiful song. যার মুখে ভাই হরি কথা নাই তার কাছে তুমি যেও না যার মুখ দেখি ভুলে যাবে হরি তার কাছে তুমি যেও না হরি কথা কও হরি গুণ গাও হরি নাম রসে সদা মত হও হরি নাম গীতি গেয় নীতি নীতি অন্য কোন গীতি গেয় না হরি কথা কও হরি গুণ গাও হরি নাম রসে সদা মত হও. So this song, there's a somewhere it is there in our book, only you can find out, and it's really meaningful. That has given me so much of strength, and you unless you until you read and understand the each and every word's meaning and definition, you'll not know that. It's very powerful. I think you have understood the Bengali song. It says that Jar Mukhe Bhai Hari Katha Nai. One who is not talking about Krishna Katha, Hari, about spiritual matter, don't go to him.
yeah.
By seeing someone, if you forget Krishna, don't look at him. If you see someone and forget about Krishna, about spiritual life, about anything, about spiritual matter, immediately just ignore that and look at some other direction. And never go near to that person. And keep on chanting. Talk about Krishna. Hari Katha Kao, Hari Guna Gao. Glorify Krishna by chanting the holy name of the Lord. And talk about Hari. Talk about spiritual subject matter. Shastra. That's it.
There's no translation for this song in KK songs too.
It is there.
No, in KK songs, there is no translation for this song. The song is there.
Yeah.
There's no translation.
You can say the song. Do you have did you find the whole
I have
song?
it. I can send it to you. You can sing maybe better than me. I will. You want me to share it in Zoom here or?
Zoom, because I don't have the phone here now.
Okay, I'm sharing on Zoom chat link. You can click on that link. It'll open.
Okay. Okay.
Able to open?
Yeah. Saying that Jar Mukhe Bhai Hari Katha Nai, Tar Kache Tumi Jeona. I just now told you, one who is not talking about Krishna, one who does not speak about Krishna, don't go to him. Jar Mukha Dekhi Bhule Jave Hari, Tar Kache Tumi Jeona. One by seeing someone, if you forget Krishna, don't go near to him. Kadin rohibe bhavo majhe ar obilambe karo jaha karivar. How long we are going to live in this material world? Kadin rohibe. You do not know how long you are going to live in this world. Whatever most important role and service duty for given, you do immediately. Jaha karivar. Obilambe means immediately take up that path. Means immediately take up Krishna loving devotion, process of loving devotion service. পরের কথায় কিভাবে আসে যায় মিছে দাগা তুমি পেও না. By hearing someone, one who is speaking ill about Krishna, ill about spiritual path activities and all this, what comes and goes in life, you just forget, ignore that and take up your journey. And কে তোমাকে কবে কি কথা কহিবে, সে কথা ভাবিলে আর কি চলিবে. Maybe someone spoken something wrong or ill about you long before, and now no use of thinking of that. Just ignore it. So, actually, if you want to progress in spiritual path, if by thinking of all those, nothing is going to help you. Vipade sampade rakhiye je pade tar pad kyan bhavana. One who is going to give you all protection and keep you under his lotus feet, under his protection. Why don't you think about him all the time? केवल हरि कथा गाओ, हरि गुण गाओ, हरि नाम रस सदा मत हाओ, हरि नाम गीति गेयो नीति नीति अन्य कोनो गीति गेयो ना. Simply chant Krishna, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, keep on chanting and glorify Krishna by talking about his pastimes and activities and Gao Hari Namo Ras Sada Matahao. You just go mad by chanting the holy name of the Lord constantly. Sada Matam is always go mad by chanting the holy name of the Lord, enjoying the Krishna Nama. Harinama Giti Gau Niti Niti Onno Kono Giti Gyona. Don't sing any other song other than Hare Krishna Mahamantra constantly. Keep on chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Don't sing any other song other than Krishna song. That is the main definition of.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, good that you found this song because I have in the book, but I have to search out where the book is. This is a very powerful message to be more strong and firm and fixed in devotional service to the Lord. Of course, it is very important to be most important role for a disciple to follow the instruction of given by Diksha Guru and follow those and be in Krishna consciousness. Guru, Gu means darkness, Ru means light. He only brings us out from the darkness and put us in this place where we can understand and realize life goal. Any other questions? I can see my sister Indira Devi. She is from Chennai online. I'm so happy to see her. Hare Krishna.
कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्णा. आपका कोई प्रश्न है आप?
हाँ,
बोलिए.
बहुत खुश है आपसे मिलके.
थैंक यू.
पहले कनेक्शन नहीं लग रहा था, आज ही लगा.
तो अभी हर दिन हमारा 7:30 to 8 हर दिन भागवत क्लास होता है. ठीक है.
अच्छा ठीक है. डेली मैं ज्वाइंट हो जाऊंगी.
बहुत सारे डिवोटीज है. आप हर दिन भागवत कथा श्रवण करने सकते हैं. नित्यम भागवत सेवा. रेगुलरली यू कैन हियर भागवत कथा बाय जूमिंग ऑन हियर.
Daily I will join.
Very good. Thank you. Hope Devi Muti Mataji, hope you have got the answer and you have realized also that there is no question about it.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your response. Yes, it was very nice.
Actually, everyone's spiritual life is depending on their own standard of cultivation of spiritual life. So you realize something, I realize something, and someone is realized something. So I just wanted to share the same thing, same question I asked because of that how to be more firm and fixed in devotional service to the Lord.
Yes, Prabhu. Guru Maharaj answered according to my position. My position is very neophyte, so he gave me the he brought me back to the basics. So
Exactly, exactly. Actually, he knows. He's Antarjam, Chaitya Guru. He knows what is going on with my disciple. He'll give the exact answer on that particular time, particular question.
Okay, Prabhu, we'll end now. 8:33. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Prabhu.
Jai Srimad
Devotees.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai